Hey, everybody. This is Gail Foley. I am here to share with you my One Awesome Community, episode 317. What this one's all about is, do you really know yourself? And right now, I'm not sure if I'm live. It says I'm live, so I guess I am. Anyway, there have been things that have come to me as of late that make me realize that I'm really, hi Janelle, makes me realize that I really don't know myself. I mean, I share a lot of things with people and I think I'm open-minded and, aware of who I am and what I'm about. But in the last week or so, there have been situations, 3 of them in fact, that have really brought some insight to myself that I wasn't really excited or pleased about. I don't know if it's because I'm on this focus product that says, hey, Gail, you're focusing on things more, or I'm just more aware. Hi, Chris. But it's just very astonishing to me that I have stopped and listened to my responses to friends that are trying to help me when I pose a question. I've been confused about some issues. And so last week on a mastermind with some very special friends of mine, we had a discussion and my first reaction is resistance, immediately. And my friend Cynthia recognized this and she said, when you don't want to do something, it's eh. And I thought about it later. I thought, wow, I really, I'm she's a mentor. She's given me some invaluable insight on which direction I should go, what my purpose is. And I discounted it right away. And, I shared that with her later and then I moved on. Well, then something else came up and someone accused me of being inflexible. And I went, well, wait a minute. I'm very flexible. If you say, let's go do this, let's go do this. But then when it was explained to me how I wasn't flexible, I'm like, wow, maybe I'm not so flexible. But it was the third episode, the third event, and 3 times the charm, right? The third one that really just brought it all home and said, Gail, wake up, girl. You don't really know yourself. You are under the idea that this is who you are, but yet you're demonstrating something entirely different. Have you ever met someone that for some reason you're not really drawn to them? Hi, Deborah. You're not really drawn to them. It's just there's something about them. Well, that recently happened to me. And then after this third episode happened, I realized why that person rubbed me the wrong way. One of her attributes was something that I was also displaying that I learned I did not like about myself. I really pride myself in being open-minded and, accepting other people's opinion. And so when you ask for advice, a lot of us don't really want advice, but I wanted advice. I really have been under this cloud of confusion of my own making because I was struggling to go one direction and not following my true path. And so it was just stressing me out and weighing on my shoulders. And I wasn't functioning in my normal energy mode or feeling passionate or totally even aware of which way I was going. And so when I had this discussion with my friends, and matter of fact, it was just yesterday, 2 different opinions. But the first thing I noticed about myself, when somebody recommended that I look at this book that might help me figure things out up here, my first reaction, oh no, I've read that book. I've done all those books. I just don't need those books anymore. What the heck? I heard myself. And I didn't react to it right then, but then I said to her as we were leaving, what was the name of that book again? My other friend brought up a different angle, and we discussed that. But what I learned is I'm very hard-headed. Now, a lot of people that know me probably would say, oh yeah, Gail, that's always been you. But you know what? I didn't think of myself that way. I know I can be stubborn, but I did not realize that I really put up these roadblocks, these barriers around myself, because I ultimately believe I know what I want. when here I am asking these questions. Which way should I go? And then when that insight from someone else is given to me, I discount it. I discount it. And I'm so ashamed of being that person because that's not who I want to be. So I ask you, do you know yourself? Do you really know yourself? Do you really understand what makes you tick? Do you really notice that when you're having a conversation with someone and they're pointing things out to you, are you receiving that? Hey, Matthew, long time no talk. Can't talk. But here's the deal. When I recognize that in myself, it made me very, very aware of the resistance I've been putting up in many places to do with many things. And it's like, people always seek me out and say, Gail, which way should I go with this? And I'm like this. And they're open and they listen to me. But yet when I'm offered the same gift, the same gem of someone else that's looking from the outside into me and knows me and is sharing what they feel is important for me, that is good for me, I don't acknowledge it with respect and gratitude. And I am just appalled at myself. So I thought this was a great topic to bring to you, because whether you're in a position where you're happy and you don't need advice from anybody, or you're struggling with somebody or something and you want to have more answers, are you open to those answers? Is there some other area in your life where you're walking out there and you're saying, hey, I'm walking this talk and I'm doing this, and then you step back and you go, wow, I'm not really walking that talk. I'm not really the person I think I am. And it's a rude awakening. I mean, I'm not a teenager anymore. I should figure out who I am by now, right? But we all go through phases in life that we are this person, and then we might change careers, and now we're this person. But all in all, we're still at the core who we are. And so, I always do these Benjamin Franklin closed pros and cons of everything. But what I've never done is gone and done pros and cons on who I am. I've done personality tests, and it always comes back, Gail's this salesperson. That's her guiding light. That's where she's supposed to be. And I love doing sales. But I haven't really done those for many years. So when somebody says to me, read this book about sales, it's like, are you kidding me? I read that book years ago. I know what that book says, but you know what? I don't know what that book says at this point in my life. At every juncture of our life, our perception changes. Our understanding changes. One of the most profound things that I ever did was pick up a book that I had in a garage sale. I was going to sell this book because I read this book and I'm like, I don't understand a thing of what this author's saying. So I had put it in a garage sale until the creative Send Out Cards announced that was one of the books that was a turning point for Send Out Cards. I got home from a convention and I ran and grabbed that book out of the sale, and I read it and I got it because I was in a different place. So with this journey of me, saying, wow, I'm not open-minded, I'm not this, I'm locked into my stress. I'm locked into this struggle. And somebody hands me a way to unlock that door, and instead of me unlocking it and saying, oh yeah, we got it figured out now, I have to digest what's said to me, go back, think about it a little bit, and go, maybe they're right. But here's what I'm really upset with. I don't like my reaction to people when they're offering it to me at that time. I want to find a better way for me to respond, not just react because that's not what I want to hear. Well, how often do people tell you something you don't want to hear? I mean, I don't know if any of you heard my story about I used to be a very negative person, and I was known as Negative Nellie. And when I was leaving a position a bazillion years ago, my boss said to me, he says, Gail, he says, you are the best secretary I've ever had. Well, you know what? Hey, I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm taking it, right? And I'm going like this, yay, woohoo. But the next minute, I was in tears because he said to me, he says, Gail, but there's one thing you got to do. If you're going to be successful, you have got to get over your moods. When you are up, you're way up there. You bring everybody with you. But the same thing goes when you're down. You bring the rest of the world down with you. And he says, you will never be successful until you wrap that energy around a consistent plateau. And I understand that. But at the time, I got big tears in my eyes. I got a big lump in my throat because I thought, oh, I don't want to hear that. Yet deep down, I got that big lump in my throat because I knew he was right. People would say to me, you're not much of a morning person, are you? It'd be 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I took that and realized he was so right, and I had to fix it. I was going from being a secretary to being in sales, and I had to fix it, and I had to fix it now, because the salespeople I knew were not going up and down with their moods. I always saw them. They were smiling, happy, and that's who I want to be. So I did. I researched it, and I dedicated myself to get past that. Now I have a chapter in a book about how to stop the emotional roller coaster. And I'm known for my enthusiasm, I'm known for my upbeatness, and I'm known for being optimistic, because now I look at everything as my glass is overflowing, not half empty. So with this new challenge, I've got to find a way to embrace a different way for me, because I don't like being that person. So what I'm saying to you, if you find something about yourself, when you really, really listen as you're going through things with other people, if you hear something or recognize something about yourself, are you happy with that? Are you rude to waiters and waitresses in restaurants? There are people I know that are the rudest people in the world, and I will not go out to eat with them because I don't like how they treat other people. Or you're standing in line at a grocery store and somebody comes along and they're just so mean to that person I don't want to be that person. And thankfully, I don't catch myself being that person in those situations. But you and I believe, this is my perception, need to reflect back on, are you truly who you feel you really are? Because I think sometimes we just need to take a checkup. Who am I? Am I really this person that I say? Am I behaving the way I want other people to behave with me? I'm grateful. I feel respecting people. But when my little underbelly showed and it was not pretty, I got to change that. I got to fix that. And it's not easy coming on here sharing that with you. But I felt, hey, Paul, I felt it was very, very important to share this because I don't know if you might be going through the same thing. And that's my purpose with One Awesome Community. Hey, Cynthia, thank you for the hearts. If I can find a way to just give you some glimmer of a situation that you might be in that will help you avoid those same hiccups or help you pick a different path or just give you some enlightenment, that's what this is all about for me. It's oneawesomecommunity.com, so I'd love for you to go there and subscribe. You can see all the other things that I do right there. I'd love you to check out my send out cards and my new heart business. But mostly, I want you to pass on a smile, because let me tell you something that is so contagious. When you are out walking, I don't care if it's in the hall of where you work, down the street, in a store, watch what happens when you look at somebody straight in the eye and you give them a big smile. That person may be having the worst day of their life, but you look at them and they throw their shoulders back and they give you a big smile back. That's magical, and that's what makes my day. So if you do nothing else today, do that for me. Do that one favor. And thank you so much. And for those of you that watch or listen to the podcast all the time, I always say, I'll catch you on the flip-flop. Hi, Mike. So I'd love comments and shares. That would be awesome. So this is just my second show on live. So I hope to master the lighting and all that fun stuff. So catch you later. Thank you again for listening. Bye-bye.